technical colleges for Kabete National Polytechnic to the tune of 2 billion Kenya shillings. That shall run for the next 3 years. What actually we are doing is that as the technical colleges, we have moved out of what you call institutional-based curriculum to demand-driven curriculum, where we are bringing on board the industry to be part of the curriculum that we are working on. Right now, as I talk to you, I want to tell you that most of our TVET institutions have the capacity to train and to add value to the informal sector in terms of competence-based training as well as managerial skills. We have the capacity to do that, and that is exactly what we are doing at the moment. And we have called upon the Juakali sector to come for programs which are industry-based in terms of having programs that can run for a very short time. We have programs that can run for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 months, even 1 month, for 1 month for purposes of trying to address the challenges that these people have. Because some of them in the informal sector are actually CEOs. You don't expect them to come for the traditional training that ran for 3 years. We are moving away from the culture of 2 years, 1 year, 3 years. What we are doing now is to have programs which are running for weeks, for days, for months, and such like things. I want to tell my brother Bart, together with my Mr. Muteti, that we are equal to the task. If you did not know that there is, I want to assure you that there's no longer a missing link, because we are there to address the challenge. So we are trying to also to demystify the thinking that TVET institutions have been for those people who have failed to make it. We are not talking about certification. We are talking about Kenyans, competency-based training that can deliver food on the table. That's what we are talking about now, with the value addition to the product that the informal sector can be able to make, so that as we export, we want to export things that have value.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Charles. We must let Patrick speak because we are running short of time.
I think taking the two conversations together, the issue of the one person being the breadwinner and he can't go away for training, I think, is something that has to be corrected. For me, there is a need to create a move from micro to small to medium. That is really where you're going to take people out of where they are now, which is, I consider, they should not be, and growing them out of so-called the poverty line and move them up. So that person who cannot get away from his job, we have to create a framework that actually allows him to bring in 1 or 2 people, which means we need to have sort of low-level capital that can allow them to grow a small business and maybe bring in 2 or 3 other people. So even if they go, they know that business is running. And they can involve the wife or something like that to actually do the job, to supervise the job, because those skills, they may not necessarily have. They can be an artisan, but somebody needs to manage that business, right? So even if they go away, somebody can look after that and move on. So I think and this is what MSEA was established for, right? Moving people from micro to small, right? And if you move enough people from micro to small, one, through giving them managerial skills to keep it, and the other one is giving them their technical skills as well, then we'll be able to begin to create that movement. And when you create that movement, then as those people begin to become small enterprises, they can begin to now latch on to the value chain of maybe larger industries. And I think the other part of the private sector should then begin to look at the micro and small enterprises as an opportunity for them to take out some of the small things that they do. If 5 or 6 industries take out the small things they do and give it to one guy, that can be a big industry for that person. And the other thing that needs to happen as well is the quality of where the informal sector operates. If I go to Gikomba, that place needs to be taken apart, put together, so that they have good facilities, right? And that is an investment that the county government needs to put in, so that they create a conducive environment for those people to work. And once that happens, they'll also, I think, begin to work upwards from that point of view.
Well, thank you very much, Patrick. You said very correctly, and for my interaction today, by the way, I understand there's a master plan that was shared by to MSEA, which unfortunately has not been effected due to the teething problems of funding, I believe. Now, we have to bring this discussion to an end, at least for now, but the conversation continues on our social media platforms, and we'll keep talking. It's like the proverbial story of a sweet and a bread. A sweet is smaller, but sweeter than the bread. So it was a short discussion. I believe it was sweet, and you learned something. We take our break. We'll return with sports news on the other side of the break with Sean Osimbo. Have a good night.
This is K24.
When a guy answers his day with Nivea Men Cool Kick Body Lotion and Deodorant. Moisture and protection. So when she tells you to beba her bag in public, cheza chini. And when Braille from finance gets all up in your grill, what you gonna do? Cheza chini. Nivea Men. It starts with you. Now available in a body cream for instant cooling and intense moisture.
Na umekuwa ukicheza hii tatua?
Nilicheza last week bwana, nikapata kitu mzuri.
Wacha nikuonyeshe vile mimi napatanga na bari yangu ya bahati. Wewe kijana, unaenda wapi usiku?
Nyumbani.
Uko na bibi ngapi?
2.
Andika hapo 2.
2.
Uko na watoto wangapi?
Tuseme 4 wale wanajulikana.
Andika 4.
4.
Na hii kazi ya kutafuta kazi umefanya miaka ngapi?
Tuseme ni 7 sasa.
Andika 7 hapo.
7.
Great things come in threes. Cheza tatua leo ushinde hadi shilingi 1,300 every hour. Ni rahisi kama 123. Go to M-Pesa, select pay bill number 150